Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah! That voice, of course, Jackie Martling, known as Jackie the Jokeman. You know, Jackie, I used to watch a lot of Howard Stern when I was younger, and I remember watching you there, and your laugh made me laugh. So what's it like being known as the Jokeman?
It's always been the greatest. You know, it's been a great living for decades. You know, I really do know more jokes than anybody in the world, and it's just something I enjoy, and I still enjoy to this day. You know, I tweet a joke every day at 4:20 p.m. I'm like 69 years old. I tell everybody I'm 70 because if you say you're 69, you got to explain to people you're not making a dirty joke, you know. But I'm
Right.
69. I'm tweeting a joke every day, and I'm going out and doing shows, and this book is kind of putting me back on the map big time out here. The reaction to the book has been spectacular, and you know, and it's fun talking about it because it's a labor of love. You know, it's a whole chronological trip through the Howard Stern show and through my life getting there. You know.
Right. Well, you know, when I first got the book, I was looking at it. I'm like, it's all written down by years. I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna take years to read that. But they're short, quick chapters. Most of them are.
Yeah, I thought that was really fun. It's like modular chapters, so you can drop in anywhere. You can read 2 or read 1 or read 7. You know, you can binge read. You know what I mean? So it's a really simple read, and it's kind of funny and it's fun. And it's about the way to get the book the easiest is on JackieTheJokeman.com. That pops up the Amazon page.
All right.
JackieTheJokeman.com, and people, you know, it's the perfect timing. So people are buying holiday gifts, and if they got 5 friends that are Stern fans, you know, with a click of a mouse, you got all the presents you need, and you can spend your time drinking this holiday. You know,
nothing wrong with that. You mentioned people, you know, can binge read. I'm guessing that through your years of being a comedian and also being on the Stern Show, there's probably a lot of binges that happened in that time slot.
Yeah, you'd say a few. You know, it's been a wild, wild ride. I quit drinking 16 years ago, but I'm still thinking of things that happened when I was drinking, so it's almost like I never quit, you know?
Right. Well, remembering those stories the first time sometimes are even better than when they actually happen. So as I was paging through, and I noticed that there's pictures of, like, you and a ton of people, including Keith Richards. Did you worry about catching a contact buzz when you were next to him?
He was just the most delightful guy. He's so brilliant. You know, you look at him and you think he's not even going to be able to mumble his name. But it was Les Paul's 85th birthday party, and I was on stage with Les Paul telling dirty jokes, and then Keith got up, and we had I was still drinking. It was the year 2000, and I sat around with Les Paul and Keith Richards for like an hour just drinking and telling stories, and it was one of the greatest nights of my life, you know.
What made you quit drinking, Jackie?
Well, when I left the show, I had no job. I separated from my wife, moved into a house by myself, and I just had way too much free time. And I said, you know what, I can't spend my life waiting for it to be 5 o'clock every day, so the only solution is to have it never be 5 o'clock. And it's the greatest, you know, it's the greatest decision I ever made. You know, it just gets better and better and better. And it's really funny because nowadays so many people have quit. You know, it's you're not the elephant in the room anymore. You know, it's like people quitting smoking. Like there's so many people say, I haven't had a drink in 30 years. You know, that's not uncommon to hear.
Right.
You know, but I hang out with drunks. You know, I mean, in the whole world, everybody I know drinks. You know, the people that don't, the people that drink certainly make up for the ones that don't. You know, we all know that. You know?
Yeah. Well, you're talking to Wisconsin right now, so I mean, of course, we all like to kick back and have a couple every once in a while. So, what was of the chapters that you wrote? It's basically chronological of your life. What was the hardest chapter to write?
You know, it's funny because the personal ones, like about quitting drinking and about my family, it was so cleansing, and so it was enjoyable. You know, none of them were really hard. Like the ones that were hard felt good. You know what I mean? So it really, I never sat there and said, "Oh, this is tough writing this." You know, writing about splitting up with Nancy and everything. I mean, Nancy's still my ex-wife's still one of my best friends and lives 2 doors away. So it's not like a whole dear departed thing. You know, the hardest thing, I guess, is writing about, you know, your early years because it's so far, you know, you're so far along and so far back that you realize that, you know, it's a finite, you know, time on the earth, and that you're in the winter of your years, you know.
Right.
But that's just an all-encompassing thing. There was nothing that was really especially hard, you know. I recommend anybody sit down and start writing about your life. It really is. It really puts you inside your head, and a lot of us don't spend enough time inside our heads. Me, I got a lot of room inside my head.
Well, being a comedian and having your mind, being quick-witted as you are, was it hard to not joke about the most the serious things that were in your life there, Jackie?
You just don't write them down. What's really weird, 'cause I did the audio version of my book, and it was I thought it would have been horrible, and it was such an enjoyable thing to sit there and read my book. But you have to read it. You have to read verbatim what's on the page. You can't ad-lib my mind just wanted to jump to so many other stories and so many more descriptive things of what I'm reading about. But there's always the temptation to go off track, but you never get finished if you kept going off track, And when I felt like taking a cheap shot here and there at myself or at somebody else, it's in there. I didn't really hold back. You know what I mean? Like it had to be fun, for people to read it.
Absolutely. The Jokeman, bow to stern. Jackie the Jokeman, my guest, and real quick, you can get it off. What was the website? You can get it off.
It's Jackie the Jokeman, one word, JackieTheJokeman.com. Go to JackieTheJokeman.com. The Amazon page pops right up, and I tweet jokes every day, but also tell you how to get the book. So if you follow me on Twitter, at Jackie Martling, and the pre-sales are through the roof. It's really great. There's so many fans from, there was a lot of years of stand-up and being on the radio and traveling around, and then the Stern Show. Millions of people came and went. So it's going to be really interesting. Hopefully people are going to, buy this and have a lot of laughs.
Jackie, I'm guessing you're going to sell a lot of them. Can you leave me with a clean joke?
So the wife says to her husband, "Get out! Get out! Get the hell out!" As her husband's walking out the door, she says, "I hope you die a slow, painful death." He says, "So now you want me to stay?" What do you think?
That was a good one. That was a good one. JackieTheJokeman.com.
I'll tell you something. A guy came up to me one night and told me a joke that's so disgusting that I can't tell it in my act because it slows up my crowd. But you can tell it on the radio, and you can tell it to a 5-year-old. Okay, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
The lady calls the doctor, and she says, "Doc, I have diarrhea. Can I take a bath?" And he says, "If you got enough." Buy my book, JackieTheJokeman.com. I promise you, folks, I guarantee. You know what you do? You buy the book, and if you don't like it, wrap it up and give it to somebody else for Christmas. That's the best way, right?
Absolutely. Jackie, I appreciate the time. Jackie the Jokeman on Classic Rock 100.1.